Welcome to Quick Stop F1. My name is Nyasha, and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Thank you for joining us on Nyasha's Notebook, the show where me and my little notebook of facts and figures from the day's session come out and discuss with you. Think Ted's notebook, but instead of being somewhere exotic in the world, we are in a Manchester park. Thank you to everyone who's watching. If you're watching, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 6,000, less than 500 to go. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. And yeah, China sprint quali 1. In the words of Kylie Minogue, wow, 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 wow. What a session for Lewis Hamilton in Ferrari Red, taking pole position by just under 2/100ths of a second from Max Verstappen. And in the words of someone who's been trying their best to get cancelled this week, can I talk my shit again? Can I talk my shit again? It's been a minute since we were in this motherfucker. Oh my God, that feels good. If you're looking for some unbiased commentary on what just transpired, turn the fuck off now. This ain't for you, bruv. This ain't for you. This little notebook of facts ain't got what's in my heart right now. And what's in my heart is I want to shit on some people right now. Because I've seen the comments, I've seen the retorts, people saying that he's washed. People were telling me that my goat was washed. Can you believe that shit? They were telling me that Lewis Hamilton, look, father time waits for no man. Well, let me tell you what, Lewis Hamilton is daddy time. Okay? Lewis Hamilton, you see the crocs on the wall? You see the hands on the croc? That's Lewis Hamilton's hands. He controls time. He will decide when he's finished. And let me tell you right now, finished right now, he is not. He's put 2/10 on Charles Leclerc today with ease. Oh, sorry, I just changing my hands. With ease. He's controlled that Ferrari. He looks so in sync in the second race. What happened to, Lewis Hamilton? Is he still going to be able to have it? I think the answer to that was answered today. Lewis Hamilton saying that he was gobsmacked, taken aback by it. Can't believe we're at the front. Wow, holy crap, were some of the words that he used to describe how he was feeling after qualifying. And in all honesty, TeamLH, stand up. Because in the face of continued ridicule from other supporters, from people within the sport, in the continued face of people doubting our driver's ability, what did we do? Did we cower? Did we hide? Did we switch drivers? Did we mollycoddle other supporters trying to curry their favor? Did we put down our driver? Did we fuck? Did we fuck? We stood tall. We stood strong. And what did our driver do? He came back and he delivered in a masterful way. I'm so excited. And to think that there are people, some of you watching this right now, who made some outlandish statements, who made some comical predictions based off one race in ridiculous conditions, based on one set of radio communications. And now look where we are. Now look where we are. First, P1. And I think, as happy as I am for me, as if I was in that car today, I'm so happy for Lewis Hamilton. And the reason I'm happy for Lewis Hamilton is, look, some of you may have seen the video that I did yesterday on racism in F1. And you look, I said what I had to say. You can agree with it, you cannot agree with it. You cannot imagine the pressure that Lewis Hamilton is under, day in, day out. All F1 drivers are. But with this move, with the way that people were discussing the move, Ferrari only signed him for his marketing abilities. Ferrari only signed him because of what he does outside of the car, you know. If we hear that, you know that he hears that, and you know that he knows about that, and you know that he is acutely aware of the need to deliver. But also, we know that he's a winner and he wants to deliver, not to shut people up, but because that's what he's born to do. And yes, this is only sprint qualifying. Yes, this is only one race in what looks like a season that could fluctuate from race to race, session to session. I'm just so happy for him that a statement has been made that qualifying isn't just going to be going Charles Leclerc's way, and that he is, when given the opportunity, a front runner. That's all TeamLH ever asked for. We weren't asking for a rocket ship. We weren't asking for an RB20 or whatever that car was. I was saying. We weren't asking for another W11. We weren't asking for Schumi Ferrari levels. We just wanted a chance. We just wanted a chance to be at the front, a chance for Lewis to be able to show the ability that we know he has, that has not gone anywhere, that has aged like the finest wine in the deepest cellar, in the finest Italian mansion. That's all we wanted. And that's what we got today. And I'm so, so happy. You know, I had to do it. You know, don't piss me off. There's a reason this is called the GOAT T, and it's because Lewis Hamilton is the greatest of all time. And that was an incredible performance today. To put it in P1, Fred Vasseur. Oh, yeah, sorry. I just wanted to mention the radio. A lot of chat about the radio last week, with Lewis and his engineer. Oh, sorry. Lewis and his engineer last week, a lot of chat about, the instructors. Obviously, we made fun of it. I know there's people calling him to be fired, and that Lewis came out with very strong response in support of Ricardo today, and I thought it was a very touching moment. When Ricardo came on the radio and he said, Lewis asked where they were, and Ricardo replied, San Diego. And Lewis said, really? And Ricardo replied, San Diego. And Lewis immediately knew that meant he was on pole position. So much for miscommunication. They're already talking in code. And look, this doesn't show that everything's fine or whatever. But I just thought that was a really touching moment. And I'm really happy for Lewis. And I'm happy for Ricardo in that sense as well. He would have felt that pressure. He would know the added pressure being Lewis Hamilton's engineer. But as Lewis said, this is a man who's won world championships. And I think we can be pretty assured that that person is capable. Whether those two will be able to gel or not is up to those two, I guess. And we'll go from there. But Fred said better than last week, but difficult to fully understand. Obviously, the McLarens had incredible pace through practice. And even when you looked at, obviously, you look at, was it Q1 where Lewis went quickest? But you kind of looked at their times, and you always kind of thought there's always going to be more in the tank from McLaren, but it didn't really come. So we'll discuss McLaren shortly. Charles Leclerc, 0.2 seconds off. He says he struggled all session. Also, he struggled all sessions and feels like Lewis is a step ahead, which is interesting because, we all kind of expected Charles to be the one, to be a step ahead in qualifying. Obviously, that was the case in Australia. But yeah, interesting for Charles. Really struggled around there all week. All day, sorry. He seemed to kind of be behind Lewis Hamilton. So Ferrari in a really, really, really good place. Let me just flip this. Can't wait for someone to film me do this. This is trying to do 3 things at once. Right, McLaren. McLaren. I mean, actually, should we go to McLaren? Should we go to? Let's go to McLaren because I think McLaren. Um, what happened today? What happened today? I think we saw a car which is not as, whilst quick, might not be as hooked up as the drivers want it. Lando Norris, well, I mean, look, we've got Oscar Piastri in third, and we've got Lando Norris in sixth. So, you know, the, the McLaren strategy of going out for 2 laps on those soft tyres, was that a mistake? Was that the correct way to go? We saw Max Verstappen leave his one and only lap right to the end. Lewis Hamilton, again, left it. I mean, Lewis Hamilton wasn't out. Like, he wasn't the latest person out, but he was out, his lap time completed after the McLarens, I think, maybe. Actually, no, I think the McLaren, yeah, I think it was after the McLarens. So was it a mistake to do 2 laps? Did they think that there was enough in the tank for them to be able to do that? Maybe something to look at. But nevertheless, really not good. Lando Norris down in sixth. And he really was going off all practice. I think he had a few offs. And then in qualifying, never really seemed to have a handle on the car. And obviously, look, this is what happens when you don't have 3 practice sessions. And I keep saying this about sprint weekends. Yes, I love practice. I do love practice. But this is what happens when you shake it up. When you have a session, which is one practice session, and then you're straight into competitive standings. People aren't able to fine-tune their car throughout 3 sessions, and what it does is it gives mixed results. And I think what we've seen is McLaren not quite having that raw speed there, but both drivers not being able to extract it, and the team not being able to extract it, which makes for a fascinating race tomorrow, because you would expect that McLaren to be able to work its way through the grid. We haven't seen the McLaren in dry weather running. I did see there was an element of rain potentially for Sunday, maybe. But I think it's going to be dry tomorrow. I may be wrong. But yeah, I mean, will Oscar be able to make his way past Lewis, past Verstappen, past Lewis? What we do know is that the person who won the sprint race last year, Max Verstappen, started fourth. Now, that car had, at that point in time in the season, an incredible pace advantage over the rest. So is that something that we're going to see from McLaren? We will wait and see. But at this point, I'm going to take a break. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, give us a review. And I'll be back after these short messages. Okay, welcome back. So, we are doing the sprint qualifying. Nyasha's Notebook. Apologies, I'm still high as a kite off that Lewis Hamilton pole position. Oh my God. Right, let's get into it. Red Bull. Max Verstappen second. Liam Lawson plum last. Chinese plum sauce last. My goodness, wrap him up with some hoisin duck in some fucking pancakes and go to town on that motherfucker, because he is cooked. Oh my goodness. 20th place in a Red Bull. Sky Sports came out with what I can only imagine was the sassiest stat I have ever heard. And the stat was no Red Bull car qualified last season. Essentially pointing out the fact that as bad as Sergio Perez was last year, even he did not qualify last in any sprint session or full racing qualifying. And yeah, it's one of those things where um Liam, he says, I couldn't get the tires going. Essentially, I think he overheated his tires and then couldn't get them back. And I mean, look, his career is feeling a bit Gasly-ish in that Red Bull. Was he promoted too soon? I think, again, it's too early to make kind of bold predictions about whether someone is ready or not. But it's not good. He really just doesn't seem to have a handle on that car, like at all. And to give him some credit, Max Verstappen in second, last person on track, nearly. I actually tweeted he's done it. Almost like not expecting Red Bull to have the pace to do it. And obviously, Max Verstappen, last person on track, grippiest surface. Max Verstappen, obviously, Terminator that he is, nearly took pole off Lewis, and that would have ruined my whole shit. He didn't, but nevertheless, you look at Max Verstappen's lap, you compare it to Lewis Hamilton's in terms of close control of the car, and he is fighting that car, especially sector one, all throughout sector one. So we know the Red Bull's not an easy car to drive. With that being said, the thought process of putting someone in that car who is as inexperienced as Liam Lawson, and let's be honest, didn't set the world on fire at RB, you know? I think their thoughts are, well, his ceiling is higher than Yuki's, blah, blah, blah. But if that's the case, put Yuki in, give him his last season. He's done the junior thing. Give him his last season. Give Liam a bit more time to acclimatize to F1, to learn about feedback. And then from there, you put him into the main team if Yuki's struggling throughout the year. But they didn't. They went straight with Liam. And in all honesty, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. Big man tick. So struggles for Liam Lawson for sure. But we'll see. But Verstappen in second, I mean, look, like I said, he's inevitable, to be honest. At this point, I'm no longer surprised, impressed. You know, that he is what he is. You know, Verstappen problem with Verstappen fans is they want you to like get on your knees and like whoa, and it's just like, bro, relax. Like, I like Verstappen. He's great. He does what he does. I think he's got some flaws. I think that's wheel to wheel racing at points when he's under pressure, as evidenced by his driver's points. What you can't deny is that he is one quick motherfucker. Can't deny it. And he's inevitable. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is a guy who maximizes his opportunities. And the problem with McLaren, if they're going to win the title this year, as someone whose driver's been in the title fight against Verstappen, that cunt will finish highest as possible, given the equipment he has. And if you guys fuck around, finishing in third and sixth in qualifying, he will out-qualify you. And then you have to go past him. And when you have to go past him, well, the less said on that, the better. I don't want to upset people in the comments. Right. Mercedes. George Russell finishing fifth in the end. Kimi Antonelli seventh. George actually put in a stonking lap in Q2. I think he was sprint Q2. I think he was he was in second at one point, and you did wonder, like, oh, are Mercedes dark horses? But then I think P5 is probably where you'd expect them to be. Let's get away from these. Someone's decided to turn their fucking engines on now. They saw me do this. They saw me do this. George Russell 5th, Kimi Antonelli 7th. And apologies if they're cutting the fucking grass. They're cut. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know if you can see these guys here in the background. They've decided to start cutting the grass. Don't they know that the world's premier F1 TV show is filming right now? God, who are my producers? I need to get Sarah from marketing or Stacy from marketing on the phone right now. Right, so GR5, 7, Kimi Antonelli. Yeah, Kimi, quite messy on his lap, 0.6 off George. And we saw him really a few times having a bit of a whopper into turn one, kind of struggling. I think he said he was struggling with tyre warm up the whole time. I swear, this fucking thing is following me over here. My God. Sorry if you can hear loads of noise. I'm going to walk over here. Look, that's the beauty of live TV, guys. That's the shit that happens. You can't help it. GR says P5 is pretty much where we are. He was surprised with the pace in Q2, but pretty much happy with where he is. And look, again, if we know anyone that's going to maximize their results, it's going to be George. V Cub Yuki Tsunoda with a great performance in 8th. Isaac Hadjo in 15th. Pretty much sacrificed his lap in Q2 to get Yuki Tsunoda through with a slipstream after Isaac made a little bit of an error, or his car seemed to just kind of step out in the first sector, and he didn't really have enough time to then get back round and complete another lap. So great teamwork, and that essentially allowed Yuki Tsunoda to get into Q3 with a great performance, qualifying in 8th place, the second highest Red Bull car. Again, you know, it does make you wonder. Williams, Alex Albon in 9th place, again getting into Q3. Carlos Sainz in 12th. Sainz unhappy with the balance, also complained about his seat being loose at points. So something to consider there for Williams. But again, Carlos being out qualified by Alex Albon, who's making a stellar start to his season at Williams. Aston Martin, Lance Stroll 10th into Q3, out qualifying Fernando Alonso. Something to watch with Fernando Alonso failing to make it into Q3, which is not good. Especially following on from what happened with Fernando at Australia, bidding it into the wall. You would hope that he was going to bounce back a bit stronger. So something to keep an eye on right there. Oh, have I got it? Oh, God. My notes. These notes. Have I gone through all the teams? Oh, here we go. Alpine, both drivers blocked on their laps. You've got, oh, mate. Have I gone through everyone? 2 seconds. Hold on. Here we go. Haas. Ollie Behrman in 12th place. Esteban Ocon in 18th. I think I said Ollie Behrman, welcome to the party with his Q1 lap, getting him into around 6th or something. And then obviously started climbing down, but he was comfortably into Q2 and then qualified in 12th, which is a great result, especially considering Esteban Ocon down in 18th. Not the best result there. Sauber, again, Gabriel Bortoleto out qualifying Nico Hulkenberg. Gabriel Bortoleto in 14th, so actually getting that car into Q2. Nico Hulkenberg struggling with the car again in P19. And again, look at so 3 rookies out qualifying their more experienced teammates. Jack Doohan with a good result, qualifying in 16th, just ahead of Pierre Gasly. I feel like there's one more team who I need to discuss, who is on the... I wrote this all down in such a cat-handed way. Alpine both drivers are blocked, and hence why they're behind. So we go into tomorrow, and Lewis just had to mention Max's name yesterday, didn't he? With regards to the radio stuff, and then him and Verstappen qualify head to head, P1 and P2, and what can we expect tomorrow from those two? We know Verstappen's going to send it. We know Lewis isn't going to give any quarter, and we know that Oscar Piastri will be waiting just behind, waiting to pick up any spoils from that. So interesting race ahead of us, and let's see what happens tomorrow. Look, we've got the sprint race, and then obviously we've got qualifying as well. So who knows what's going to happen there? But all we know is that we will be hoping that Lewis can bring it home. Well, I will be anyway. Some of you won't be, but also then some of you will be here when I have to report on him not doing it. And you'll also be here to, to see how I react when he does, not if. Quickly, obviously the passing of Eddie Jordan yesterday. And I guess there's not many people who have been like an omnipresent an omnipresent personality within F1 from when I started watching Formula One. My earliest memories are as a young kid, the Jordan team having respectfully the best pit girls. Some absolutely incredible milk that Eddie Jordan was bringing to the party. I distinctly remember him, Jordan, the page 3 model, advertising the Jordan car, which is obviously a match made in heaven. 90s, crazy time. But in all seriousness, some of my earliest F1 memories are watching that Jordan team punch above its weight, especially in 99, and getting those victories, the Damon Hill victory before that in Belgium, one of the most oh, look at this, there's another train goes by. Kind of begging Eddie Jordan to hold fort with the 1-2, because it's the rain. It's like, look, you can either get a win here or you can have us fight. And I was one of my earliest F1 memories is watching Jordan's first win. And then obviously, Jordan going bust, and they were, he was always a personality, and then obviously becoming a pundit, and especially in F1's return to the BBC. And I think that's where he was able to showcase that personality. He was basically what Nico Rosberg is now. They're basically like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to ask the difficult questions, and I've got inside news. A lot of people don't know, because maybe you weren't around at the time and whatever. But Eddie Jordan was the one who broke the news of Lewis going to to Mercedes, which was the big fucking thing at the time. Basically the biggest piece of news at the time for a minute. And yeah, Eddie Jordan, did I agree with everything Eddie Jordan said? No. I don't think you were meant to, though, and I think, looking back, what I do respect, it's just like, oh my God, this motherfucker, do you see him? He's following me in the corner, bottom left. He's literally following me around. He knows I'm on a camera and he's following me around. Eddie Jordan, I try and make a heartfelt speech right now. I feel like I'm in a fucking horror movie and I've got someone on a fucking lawnmower following me around. So Eddie Jordan, I respect the hustle. I respect, the go and get it personality. Did I agree with everything he said? No, but you need personalities. It's a sport that's so bland. It's so boring. Even the individual content creators are basically just like copy and paste, trying to be like Sky Sports Light. You know, the pundits are bland, and just sometimes it was just nice to have a crazy Irishman give his opinion on something, even if that opinion was complete bullshit. You know, sometimes you just ignore a man. You know, oh, you know, that's Eddie for you. But it's sad. My granddad passed away with prostate cancer, and seeing it back in the news just really made me realize that life is precious, guys. Men, I'm talking to you. Life is precious. Go and get your bloods checked and get your prostate checked. Okay, especially when you kind of get to my age, a bit older. It's really important. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. It's a violent cancer. It's hard to get rid of. And I would hate for any of you to allow yourselves to live with it and not get diagnosed as soon as possible. So, RIP, there's like a plane, a train, and a fucking lawnmower right behind me. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's horrible. But look, RIP to Eddie Jordan. Yeah, rest in peace, brother. And condolences to all of his family. And if there's anything Eddie taught us, was go after what you want, do anything you can to get it, and try and make people laugh along the way. And I guess that's pretty apt for this channel. Have a lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow after the sprint and qualifying. Until then, keep it on the black stuff. Until next time.